is something which is very uncertain, very complex, and there are lots of ambiguity which is there. So irrespective whether you are doing a business or you are working as an entrepreneur or you have your own startup, somewhere you need to develop a mindset to adapt this VUCA environment, right? So that's where the real word entrepreneurship comes into a picture. I think I and Rusty were discussing day before yesterday, and I think we both came to a conclusion that when you talk about entrepreneurship, it's not always only and only about starting a new business by its own. Entrepreneurship is applicable to every individual, irrespective whether you are doing a job or whether you are working with you're working with any organization or you are having your own business. So now I would like to coin one word. Yeah, please, can we go to the next slide? So actually, it's a compulsion rather than, I would say. Now you cannot say, yeah, it's a luxury. Rather than that, it's a compulsion to be an enterprising. So enterprising word, it's a broader concept. So when we apply it to the management students, or any student who has an option to choose a career, so basically there are two options, whether they go for something of their own as an entrepreneur, or the second option which comes to their career is applying for a job. Irrespective whether you are working as a professional in any of the company, or you are doing a job, or you are doing your own entrepreneurial journey, it is compulsion nowadays to be an enterprising. And I think you all will be agreeing with me that being an enterprising for everyone, even for house manager, to manage her budget, to manage the emotions of its family, everywhere it is a compulsion to be an enterprising. So the kind of competition which
Organizational or a corporate structure.
Okay, so in a simplest way, if you wanted to explain entrepreneurship, then you can say entrepreneurship within the organization, right? So everyone cannot be an entrepreneur by its own, but while they are working with the organization, while they are, just a second. Okay, so this message was okay, fine. So while you're working with the organization, even that time also you can be an enterprising. So it's all about living that entrepreneurial spirit, irrespective whether you are doing a job or you are doing your own business. So today's topic is more towards living that entrepreneurial spirit, creating that entrepreneurial mindset. So that's what today's topic is more about. And the word which was mentioned here, corporate innovations, so I would more focus towards intrapreneurship rather than the general entrepreneurship. So that's what. Yeah, so as I have already discussed that we are living in a VUCA world, which is very uncertain, very volatile, very complex. But my dear friends, as you all are aware about that, on 20th of March 2020, suddenly lockdown has announced, and we all were into lots of shock, even specifically for entrepreneurs like us, those who are working professionals. Everybody is in a shock that now what is going to be there. If I talk about myself, then I was not at all, I don't have any such training or any kind of exposure that how to conduct effective online sessions, online programs. But then there was lots of uncertainty, there was lots of complexity. Even 2 days I cried a lot that what I'm going to do now, because I don't know how to conduct sessions online. And I was strongly believing in him. Drashti is also aware that I strongly believe that training program should be conducted offline, because the people like us, we always frame our next sentence based on the facial expressions of the students. And see here, I'm just watching my own face and doing all that blah 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 blah. So this was something, initially it was a shock for me. And I literally, I don't shame in confessing that 2 days I've literally cried. because I was not knowing that what I'm going to do it. So there are two options available for me. Either I should sit down, without doing nothing and just taking care of all the household activity, or I should adapt with the environment. So first 15 days, literally, I have attended all the good trainings online. I've literally learned that how they are using different types of techniques to keep the audience engaged. What are the advantages and disadvantages of using various tools and platforms for online learning? So there are so many minute details which I have actually acquired and learned. वो बोलते ना छोटे बच्चे कैसे पेલું પહેલા ધોરણમાં કે ગુજરાતીમાં એમ they just literally note down every minute detail. That's what I did. And slowly and gradually I have adopted, so that uncertainty has given me an understanding, that complexity has given me a clarity. So somewhere you feel कि अरे यार अभी तो कुछ नहीं होगा, कैसे करेंगे, what are the problems we are going to face, अभी तो मतलब घर पे बैठना रहेगा, कुछ काम नहीं हो पाएगा. But I proudly say that even I have taken more training sessions and earned more in this lockdown rather than I used to. I've explored myself like anything. So it's all about creating that enterprising mindset, right? So वो बोलते हैं ना क्रिकेट में आपको रन बनाने हैं तो आपको विकेट पे टिकना पड़ेगा. So वो विकेट पे टिके रहना without either getting bowled or run out or catch out, that's what an enterprising spirit is. So it is applicable everywhere. Now when you talk about corporate innovation, so there is always a situation where it becomes very challenging for big companies to create. So unke khud ke advantages and disadvantages hai, and now the startup culture has suddenly made them in a challenge that either you innovate or you disrupt. So that's where I would like to run a small video that, and this video you will be related, the video is related with everyone who is sitting here, those who are watching on a Facebook live, it's affecting everyone's life. So we'll discuss what exactly video is saying. Let me just show you the video. Yeah, Drashti, it would be great if you can show the video. Please let us know whether it is audible or not. It's not audible.
है कि आज बदलाव जरूरी ही नहीं बल्कि निश्चित होवे, पर जैसो गांधी जी ने कहो है कि जो बदलाव आप देश में देखना चाहो वो खुद में भी होना जरूरी होवे. आज मैं वो सुर छेड़ू हूँ जो इससे पहले कभी ना छेड़ो, और वो गाना गाऊं हूँ जो इससे पहले कभी ना गुनगुनायो.
Change is constant. Change is inevitable. Change is immeasurable. Change, be the change. Yeah. Change is the game, you need a new mind frame. Stop following the world and be the change. Drive the change, write the change, just block the change. Change, be the change. Change society, change your country, change her people, change, be the change. Change is the game, you need a new mind frame. Stop following the world and be the change. Head the change, inspire change, invent the change, change, be the change. Give it up, man, give it up, man. Give it up, man, give it up, man. Change perspectives, change POVs, change leadership, change, be the change. Change is the game, you need a new mind frame. Stop following the world and be the change. change. Strive for change. Fight for change and strive for change. Join the change and be the change. Change, be the change. Be the change.
So, crux of the story is irrespective. Yeah, am I audible? Drashti, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, crux of the story is irrespective whether you are running a small business or you are associated with a big company, you are working with a big company, or you are owner of the MNC or a giant, or you are managing a thela at a road, or anything. Irrespective, you have to embrace the change. You have to accept the change, and you have to embrace the change the way this lady has done it. So that's where now we are going into more detail of corporate entrepreneurship. So yeah, corporate innovation and entrepreneurship, that's what entrepreneurship. So now I would like to tell you something about red ocean and blue ocean. Yeah, and for doing all this, you need to always say kissing goodbye to your comfort zone. है ना, वो शायरी है ना, मंजिलें मिल ही जाएगी भटक कर ही सही, गुमराह तो वो हैं जो घर से निकलते ही नहीं. So घर is comfort zone here. So to be an enterprising, for both entrepreneurs and working professionals I'm talking about, you have to say goodbye to your comfort zone. So that's the first condition. So now I would like to tell you something about blue ocean and a red ocean. Have you heard about this? Story we'll tell later on. First, we'll talk about blue ocean and red ocean. Anybody has any idea about blue ocean, red ocean strategies? I think you are MBA students, so you must be having idea. Yeah, anyone? Why there is a need of corporate innovation? I think that's the answer the slide is giving us. Anyone?
Ma'am, may I speak? Anvesh, good evening, ma'am. Anvesh here.
Yeah.
Ma'am, red ocean, as we see, many competitors limit. The space becomes limited. And blue ocean is your own domain where you can operate freely, where you can put your ideas to execution, where you can be successful. So, so this is what of, that's all.
So red ocean, the color itself tells you, the color is red. It's a bloody, where there is a cutthroat competition. Obviously when there is a cutthroat competition, you are competing for the greater share with the limited size, right? So that's where the problem with the existing industry players in the red ocean. But if you go for a blue ocean strategies, then obviously you are creating altogether a new market where there is no competition. You are altogether creating a new needs with the altogether a new market. So there are plenty of opportunities which are available for you, either as a corporate innovator or an entrepreneur within the organization, or as an entrepreneur. Right. So here when you talk about that, you want to shift from red ocean to blue ocean. That's where the word disruption comes into a picture. Anybody has any idea about the word disruption? What do you mean by disruption? Yeah, anyone? Disruption.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
When you invent something which is absolutely not like the thing existing before.
Okay, so it's like an absolutely new market which you are creating, an absolutely new innovation you are doing, right? That's where the disruption comes into a picture. Okay, anybody else who wanted to give any problem which interrupt an event? Okay.
Ma'am, disruption is such a very, as such is a very broader term. Disruption can also mean a great socio-political implication. Disruption in business can mean which disturbs the convention existing in the conventional system existing in the market.
True. True. Now you all are millennials, right? We have seen. मैंने खुद वो लैंडलाइन नहीं होता है, इवन लैंडलाइन के जमाने के हैं हम, मतलब उतने भी बूढ़े भी नहीं है, बट इवन वी हैव सीन दैट टू हैविंग अ वायरलेस फोन, दैट वाज समथिंग व्हिच वाज अ बिग शॉक फॉर अस. वी कैन टाइप अ मैसेज पेजेस के बाद. जब सबसे पहले आई यूज्ड टू टेल स्टूडेंट्स कि नोकिया का वो 3610 आया था, दैट वाज द फर्स्ट फोन व्हिच आई हैव परचेज्ड, एंड जब उसपे मैसेजेस सेंड होते थे, इट वाज समथिंग व्हिच वाज शॉकिंग फॉर अस. ओह माय गॉड, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? एंड आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द कीपैड, जिसमें अगर आपको सी प्रेस करना है तो you need to press A, you need to press B, and you need to press C. But today, if you talk about a smartphones, you see the kind of features which they have come up with. That was something which is a disruption. Facebook, that was something which is disruption. Google, आज कहीं पे भी आप अटकते हो, immediately you Google the things and all that. So ऐसे बहुत सारे innovations हैं which can be talked as a disruption. So when you talk about corporate innovation or startups, you talk about disruption is going to be the core. So when you say that you don't want to operate yourself into red ocean with the limited opportunities available, and you want yourself to be shifted from red to a blue ocean, disruption is going to be a part of it. Now there was a beautiful research happened. I was just reading a few articles and would like to quote that research, what they did it. So basically there was a fellow whose name is Berry, and they've done lots of research that what is the relation between R&D and disruption and innovation. So they came to a beautiful conclusion that research has found that there is no statistical significant relationship. See, it's very, very interesting that it has not proven anywhere that there is no significant statistical correlation that if you are spending this much amount on R&D, that means you are coming up with all-time innovations. Basically, how much money you are spending on R&D, that is not important. The important aspect is, so there are three most crucial and important aspects. The first is the kind of talent which you are processing in the process of disruption. The another important aspect they have mentioned is customer insight, and the third most important aspect which they have mentioned is rigor of the process you employ. So these are the three main important things which leads towards innovation. Now you talk about and we are discussing so many times about millennials, right? We are discussing so many times about generation Z. If we talk about Netflix, if we talk about Uber, I think these two companies have changed from taxi rental to video rental services. So when you are dealing with generation, continuously their need change. The technological advancement which is happening, environment and market, it compulsion. It is a necessity for a company to continuously innovate. So that's where the role of corporate innovation comes into a picture. And who is going to do this? Who is going to do competitions? It is employees of the organizations who are going to do it. So corporates needs to create an environment where the talent, the minds can flourish as an entrepreneur. They act. I'm so sorry. I think there was a connection issue. So for a few minutes, I was logged out. Okay, yeah. Hope it's audible now. So let's move on to the story. Drashti, can you go to the previous slide? So I think everyone likes a story, right? So here also I would like to share a beautiful story with you guys. You must have heard name of Sheikh Challi, Gangu Teli, Mitti Ka Madhav and Raja Bhoj. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So what is Sheikh Challi is known for? Sheikh Challi, what is the typical characteristics of Sheikh Challi? Can anyone tell me or type in a chat box? Yeah, anyone, शेख चली.
Sheikh Chali.
बड़ी सोच but करना कुछ नहीं. Yeah, Parth, absolutely right. Yes.
मैम मुंगेर लाल के हसीन सपने, something like that.
सपने देखना. ओके, आई थिंक सबने मतलब मैंने भी सुना हुआ है. इन ये जो पूरा ग्रुप आज हमारे साथ है, कहीं ना कहीं पे अपनी लाइफ में कभी ना कभी तो हमने ये टॉन्ट सुना ही है कि शेख चल्ली ની જેમ શું વાતો કરે છે, don't think like a sheikh challi. So that's what the typical characteristics of sheikh challi, so what basically his characteristics is. So this I have derived from one of the very interesting book written by Devdutt Patnaik, The Cultural Influences from Indian Mythology. So the story I have taken from them. So basically characteristics, if you talk about sheikh challi, then his master has given him a full of matka of milk, and भैया थे शेख चल्ली, तो सपने देखना is something which is his characteristic. So वो तो मतलब अपना मटका लेके जा रहे थे, and he started thinking about future like anything, कि मैं उसका मक्खन बनाऊंगा, मक्खन में से घी बनेगा, मेरे पास बहुत सारे पैसे होंगे, मैं ऐश करूंगा, मुझे काम नहीं करना पड़ेगा, all that blah blah. He started thinking. His thoughts have no limits, So he started thinking, and he was dreaming, and suddenly बीच में पत्थर आ गया, वो भाई साहब गिर गए, सारा दूध जो मटके में था सब बाहर निकल गया, and वो जहां से थे वहां पहुंच गए. So that's what a dreamer is. So Sheikh Challi is always known for his dreaming, So if you wanted to relate one word with Sheikh Challi, then you can say he's a dreamer. Then there is another fellow, his name is Gangu Teli. Anybody can describe a typical characteristics of Gangu Teli?
Ma'am, he used to think that he will become a Raja Bhoj. Just he was like.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
ma'am, he is also a dreamer, and उसके तीसरा मटका एक दिन टूट जाता है. So that's the.
So Gangu Teli was a not dreamer. Gangu Teli was implementer. So वो हमेशा ये सोच रखता था कि सपने देखने में क्या मतलब सपने देखना is useless, you should be always living in present. You should never think of a future. जो भी अभी हमारे पास है उसको maximum output you should get it, and you should be implementer like anything. So that's what the typical characteristics of Gangu Teli. Teli का मतलब होता है किसी भी चीज से तेल निकालना. So he's basically known for his implementation skills, right? So he's an implementer. If Sheikh Challi is a dreamer, then Gangu Teli is an implementer. So now the same story we are going to relate with one organization who were making copper pipes. So there was a fellow, his name is Jaldeep, and he's the owner of a company, those who are producing copper pipes. So that fellow was very much clear that मुझे है ना ये जो सपने देखते हैं और बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं, कंप्यूटर के सामने बैठे रहते हैं, पूरा दिन सोचते रहते हैं, फील्ड पे जाते नहीं है, ऐसे लोगों का कोई काम नहीं है. I'll just only and only hire those who can actually go in a field and sell my products. So उसने सिर्फ और सिर्फ implementers को hire किया. हाँ, इनिशियल कुछ साल तक कोई दिक्कतें आई नहीं, बहुत बढ़िया तरीके से they used to manage their sales figures and everything was fantastic, and he was very happy that देखा मतलब सिर्फ अगर काम होता है तो वो इम्प्लीमेंटर से ही होता है, ड्रीमर्स कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं. So that was his perception. But कुछ टाइम के बाद, after few years passed away, not suddenly, but yeah, slowly and gradually, and then suddenly his sales figures have started decreasing. Now there were lots of complaints they used to get from a sales staff. Those who have booked the order, even they were not ready to take those copper pipes, and existing orders also getting cancelled. So there is no option of getting future orders. So he was under lots of pressure कि भाई मैंने तो बहुत ही बढ़िया फील्ड एग्जीक्यूटिव्स को रिक्रूट किया, they were getting wonderful results, sales were superb, and what happened suddenly? फिर भाई साहब को ऐसा लगा कि मुझे मेरे आसपास देखना चाहिए, what are the things happening around me, and he came across one person. His name is, he was a startup, he was an entrepreneur, and he observed that this person is slowly and gradually, वो कछुए की हम चाल बोलते हैं ना, तो slowly and gradually he is coming up with new product and trying to create new products with new demands and getting something very interesting in terms of sales figure. So this fellow felt that I should call him and I should ask him कि भैया ऐसा आप क्या कर रहे हो? So this positive things are happening with your business. So that fellow was very humble enough to share a secret, and he said that I haven't kept only implementer in my company, but I have also given the equal importance to the dreamers in my company. So implementers implement and dreamers forecast. Dreamers think about futures. Dreamers talk about future. Dreamers, बहुत सारे ideas वो लेके आते हैं. सारे ideas click नहीं होते हैं, but one or two ideas actually keep the innovations going on. So that's where the entrepreneurship comes into a picture. So this was the story I thought I should ask you. Mittika Madhav never be as Mittika Madhav has not any stand. And the person, the Raja Bhoj, we are talking about the Raja Bhoj. So Raja Bhoj is an individual who has a balanced thought process to be dreamer at the same time to be implementer. So that's where being an enterprising as a dreamer and as an implementer makes sense. Shaili, can you off your mic? So there is some disturbance coming. Yeah. Can we go to the next slide? Yes. So here comes the question that why there is a need for corporate innovation. So as you all are aware about, every company who is starting new, obviously at initial stage, there is a possibility that they must have a disruptive technology, they must have a disruptive product, or they must have a disruptive processes. But jaise companies grow karte jate hain, slowly and gradually, once they become established one, once they become big one, it is very difficult for them to adapt with the new changes. There are so many factors, there are so many criteria which actually affect it. But nowadays they are getting a biggest competition from the small startups, because now startups are aiming toward disruption. And as startups are small, obviously they are limited with the resources. So jo bhi karna hai, one shot mein karna hai. They don't have options, and scarcity is something which is coming up with a wonderful result to them. So big companies are getting very, very tough competition from startups in the area of disruption. So to adapt with this disruption which is happening in the area of business, there is no other option for them than coming up with corporate innovation. So that's where the reason, the main reason behind that why corporate innovation is needed. So it's a critical for established company to stay relevant on the face of disruption from startup, and that's where the corporate innovation culture comes into a picture. Yeah, next. So disruption is the word which is going to be the core for startups and for corporate entrepreneurs, or you can say entrepreneurs, or for the companies, those who wanted to go for innovations within their organization. Yeah, next. So let's talk about few examples. Now, as I said, there is no option, then continuously innovating yourself. You have a classic example of Nokia. शायद वायरलेस फोन, और यू कैन से मोबाइल, मतलब मैंने तो मेरे दिमाग में सबसे पहले मोबाइल, व्हेन द वर्ड केम इनटू अ पिक्चर, नोकिया वाज द वन which has encountered to my brain, to my ears. So mobile phone is Nokia. But you could see the kind of situation, the kind of tough time Nokia has faced. They were literally thrown out from the market because they have not realized the disruption which they are going to get from the competitors. So that's where now it is essential, it is compulsion for companies to create that corporate innovation environment. So there are so many examples are associated with that, but here I would like to take few. Anybody has any idea the moonshot factory? Anybody? So that these all are the innovation labs of different companies, right? So anybody has any idea the moonshot factory? It is owned by actually the Alphabet, the parent company of Google, and the name is X, founded in 2010. So the name itself talk about, the moonshot. So basically that's an innovation lab within the Alphabet, where they are coming up with, the team of innovators, team of scientists, team of entrepreneurs, where they are continuously focusing and continuously doing efforts toward making life of people better, better and better. So that's where the moonshot factory, the X, the name X for Google Innovation Lab, or you can say Alphabet Innovation Lab. So that's the one example. So I try to take examples from various industries, because usually हमें ऐसा है कि innovation lab which we talk about and only it is related to the tech and all that, but it's not like that. There are plenty of good corporates who are doing wonderful in terms of creating corporate innovation environment within the organization. Am I audible properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now next is Visa. So Visa's innovation lab, which they have, where they are continuously making effort. Now think of those dreamers. We are talking about dreamers here. So this entire innovation labs, or whatever examples we are talking about, they all are actually hiring Sheikh Challis, or you can say dreamers, those who continuously innovate. Because R&D के बारे में ऐसा बोला जाता है कि with R&D, just listen what I'm saying. With R&D, you can convert capital into idea, and innovation is a reverse process where again, from idea you need to convert into a capital. So that's where the beauty and innovation labs are going to be the crucial vehicle for that. So here we have discussed about the moonshot factory, and now I'm going to discuss about Visa. So basically this is a Visa's innovation lab, so where they are continuously focusing towards inventing technologies in the area of authentication, digital security, cloud and all that. Again, they are into a fintech and all that. So that's where the continuous advancement, the continuously innovating new features, new advancement is the core of Visa's innovation lab. And again, here, those who are working with this, they all are entrepreneurs, right? Then we have, Henry at Nestle. So basically, this is also the innovation lab of Nestle, where they are continuously focusing on making the health, wellness, and sustainable products and services through their research, through their innovation lab. After that, we have, this Space 10. You must be, IKEA, you must be aware about, right? So they have their own Space 10 innovation lab. So basically, they are into furniture. So they design and, sell the furnitures across world. So the new designs, new services, new platforms, that continuous innovations happens at Space 10 of this. What you can say, IKEA. So that is there. And the last is L'Oreal. So L'Oreal is basically, so they are doing wonderful. If you go and do a research on the kind of startup programs, the kind of innovation programs they are doing, they have accelerated programs as well. They have venture fundings. So there are lots of inside and outside startups to whom they are promoting. So basically, L'Oreal has a tie-up with Station F. So they have open innovation, lab, where lots of innovation happens in the area of beauty products and the digitalization, beauty devices and all that. So they are actually the launch pad for a new and innovative product for the company they are representing with the help of entrepreneurs. So that's where entrepreneurship comes into a picture. right? You all must be aware about Simon Sinek, right? Have you heard his TED talks or sessions and all that? So Simon Sinek has given
Yes.
the rule of golden circle, right? So how entrepreneurs think from why to what. I think you guys are aware about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So here, when you talk about corporate innovations or you talk about entrepreneurs, so they are into always decoding that how the innovation can be executed and why we are inventing this, aligned with the objective of the founders or the entrepreneurs of so and so company. So that's where the entrepreneurship, corporate innovation comes into a picture. Yeah. Next. Next, Drashti. Anybody can tell me the name of this person? Anybody knows him?
Pranav Mistry.
Pranav Mistry. So who is he?
He's a scientist at the think tank at USA.
At USA, but which company?
He is working with Samsung.
He's working with Samsung. Okay.
He developed sunflower and.
Okay. So is he an entrepreneur or he's an entrepreneur?
Entrepreneur.
Why entrepreneur?
Because he invented his technology in his graduation period and then implemented by the help of with working with Samsung.
Okay, so within the organization, we can say that he has, inculcate that entrepreneurial spirit and all those entrepreneurial, skills or a spirit he has implemented within the organization. So we can say he's an entrepreneur. So Sundar Pichai, he's an entrepreneur or entrepreneur?
Entrepreneur.
So same, so that's what I wanted to convey today. So we can move on to the last slide, then we'll have question answer and I'll talk a little bit on entrepreneurship in general as well. Yeah. Can we have the last slide? This is a very deep picture which I found from internet and I thought that I should add this into the PPT. So here it is written that the only way out is in. This is applicable for individual. This can be applicable for companies as well. This can be, applicable to government as well. So irrespective of whether you are a company or you are an individual or you're an entrepreneur or you're doing a job, this is applicable everywhere. So all the power is within you. For companies, if they really wanted to sustain in the environment, they really want to sustain in a competition, they need to create an environment within the organization where people can, think like an entrepreneur, where mistakes are allowed, where they are allowed to experiment. And same happens with you as an individual as well. So that's what, if I would say, then the conclusion of the entire topic. So so being a management graduate, I think you all are management student, right? So you are having two options in front of you. So either you go for a job with a very reputed MNC company, or you go for your own entrepreneurial journey. So both the things are absolutely fine. Both have its own pros and cons, and it's all about how you are taking this role as an individual. So if I talk about myself, then I have worked for more than 10 years with the university. I was with SK Patel MBA Institute, where I have taught MBA students, handled placement, did lots of entrepreneurial programs and workshops and all that for more than 10 years. So even I have never ever thought of that I would be an entrepreneur in future. But I lived my role every day as an entrepreneur. That's which has led me to be an entrepreneur, right? So it's up to you that the role, the responsibility, or the position given to you, are you taking it just as a job, or you are taking it at an entrepreneurial spirit, or you are taking it as an entrepreneur? So entrepreneurship is altogether a different domain when you talk about startups and all that, and Drashti and her team is obviously going to orient you for that. But even it is possible. It is it is possible and very much in function to be an entrepreneur within the organization as well. I have seen many of my students. One of my students who has started his career just as an intern with Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages Private Limited, just with his unique way of handling his sales team and a unique way of handling the market from channels to all that, and he was given lots of freedom because of his enterprising spirit. Right now he is with a very senior position as Mondel's International, as a Cadbury. So there are so many examples you will find it. My own example is enough to justify that how entrepreneurship can help you to coming up with a bright career and a bright future. Even if you talk about IIC, the Incubation and Innovation Cell of University, I think that is also an output of the corporate innovation within the PDPU. I think Drashti is going to agree with me. Drashti, the kind of environment which is provided at PDPU, I think student and a team of faculties have combined together and they have created a full-fledged. And I think today also IIC's majority of the staff is, or the majority of the employees are student alumni, and it is fully operated by team of alumni with all the freedom from fun to experiment they are giving. So this is also a classic example of corporate entrepreneurship, and I'm observing Drashti since so many months, I would say, and the way her team, Anisha and her and all that they were talking, I think it is not less than an entrepreneurship, right? So there are scope which are available at both the way. It's you how you take it. To innovate, to be an enterprising it's a compulsion now. So there is no option which is available, right? Yeah. So this is what I wanted to share, and now we are open for question answer. Yeah, am I audible, Dusty? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. So yes, this is what I wanted to share. Hope I have justified the topic, and yeah.
Ma'am.
Yes. Anavesh, yeah, Anavesh.
Ma'am, the risk-taking capability, I like me and many like me would agree that belonging to because I haven't had a traditional background in entrepreneurship. None in my family have done it, as far as my knowledge goes. So there's remains a skepticism, like how and when to enter entrepreneurship, which market, what will be the rate of success. And I even mentioned a question, ma'am, in the chat.
So first of all, Anvesh, I would like to tell you that you are a student, right? And initial years, obviously, you can give to experiment yourself in terms of an entrepreneurship if you really wanted to go for starting something of your own. So when you talk about a risk, so I would like to tell my story. When I left the job before 1.5 years back, it was one of the biggest risks of my career. But I was little calculative in terms of, okay, let me give at least 1 year to myself to experiment whatever I wanted to do in terms of independent business. It was a big risk because, after 10, 12 years of career, you are at a particular, a position with the power, with the hefty amount of money to be deposited every year in, your account. So that was something which was a big risk, social risk, personal risk, and career risk. Yes, when you go for analyzing that risk or decreasing that risk, it's all about the principle, effectuation principle. you know uh, uh, are you aware about the principle of effectuation? Have they come across?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, na? Okay. So basically, there is a lady, her name is Saraswati. So she has come up with a beautiful research. So basically, she has done research with around 27 entrepreneurs. And these entrepreneurs, you can consider them as a successful entrepreneurs, right? And they have done a research with this entrepreneur, and she concluded that uh, entrepreneurship is more about the thought process. So entrepreneurs never start business for money that comes later on. It's all about proving yourself, having that self satisfaction that I've done something independently. So it's actually entirely a thought process which she has come across. So she has come across 5 principles of effectuation. I think दृष्टि इन्होंने यहाँ पढ़ा नहीं होगा. It must comes later on for them into their studies of entrepreneurship and all that.
Yes, ma'am. So as a part of the basic curriculum, they don't have the effectuation.
Okay, they don't have the effectuation. Fine. So she has come up with a beautiful concept of effectuation, and she has derived the principle of effectuation. So there are 5 principles which she has given, and it was with a sheer research with a very good entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs, those who were researched into that, they were actually very big entrepreneurs in terms of at least having one public limited company. So you can imagine the success of those entrepreneurs. And from there, she has derived the 5 principle of effectuation. So there is one principle which she has mentioned, that is called affordable loss. So there are 5 principles in total. So bird in hand, and pilot in the plane, and lemonade, and affordable loss. But here, when it comes to the risk, entrepreneurs always think of the affordable loss. So here, whatever you are talking about, जैसे मेरा कोई background नहीं है, मतलब मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, so that all you were thinking about an affordable loss. So yes, you should go for if you think that you wanted to go for an entrepreneurship, at least you can select a timeline that 1 year I can give myself for experimenting, and if it will click, then fine. Else, I would think that after 1 year I would have started my job. So that's where the concept of affordable loss. जब मैंने भी job छोड़ा, at that time I was not sure that you are successful at a job, but there may be a possibility that it won't work for a business. So, but still, I thought that what was the risk? Risk एक साल का मेरा salary नहीं आएगा. That is one thing. Another, overall professional career में 1 साल मैं पीछे हो जाऊंगी. That is second thing. And at the same time, I'll at least get a chance to experiment myself by taking this to risk. So it was very well thought and very well process decision that एक साल के बाद, this is a timeline. ऐसा लगा कि you are not going to work out in a business, then leave it. So that's 1 year of affordable loss. That's where the risk taking ability comes into a picture. And you are young. See, when we have started, it was a pressure on us that आपको एक successful level पे लोगों ने already देखा हुआ है. So it's a pressure that you also have, a compulsion that you also have to be successful in a business. But you as a youngster, you don't have that pressure, right? Initially, even your expenses are also something which is limited until and unless you are not starting a family or any other responsibility, a financial responsibility comes to your shoulder. I think you should experiment that risk, or you should take that risk to be an entrepreneur. So that's what. And it's a mindset. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope I have answered your question.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what else?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Who is this?
Dhruv Patel.
Dhruv.
Ma'am, जब हम बिजनेस करने का सोचते हैं, then there will be many hurdles for the entrepreneurship. So I researched for entrepreneurship in last 6 months in this pandemic, and I come to know that what I want for entrepreneurship. Then first thing comes in my mind is funds. Where I will raise a fund. So is it okay to go for conventional business first and then go for innovative side?
It's absolutely your choice. It's absolutely your decision. So there is no compulsion as such, but yes, if you wanted to avail the funds which is given by government through various schemes through IIC, if you wanted to go ahead with that, then obviously conventional business is not going to help you out. For their disruption is something which is essential, and that's where you are eligible for the fund. If you're going with a conventional business, there is no disruption, so fund initially, yes, you need to raise by your own. So that's what the difference is. Baki, as such, there is no logic that first you go for a traditional business and then go for a innovation, nothing like that. So it's absolutely your call.
But traditional business if I am successful in traditional business, I can make money from that in 4 or 5 years, and then I can innovate. Then I can go for that innovative thing.
Yeah. That is, I said ना, it's an absolutely your call. मैंने तो ऐसे भी students देखे हैं जो date लिख के रखते हैं कि मैडम 5 साल job करूंगा, every month salary का this percentage I am going to give in saving, and then with this saving after 5 years I am going to start something of my own. So that's where you take a call.
આમાં કેવું છે મેડમ કે અમારી એજ છે 24-25, સો ઘરેથી પણ થોડું હોય કે હા કે હવે કમાવાના જેવા થઈ ગયા છે, તો અત્યારે એન્ટરપ્રિન્યોરશિપમાં ત્યાં અમને એક મોટું સ્ટેપ બેક ત્યાં છે અમને એમ કે
પણ અત્યારે expectation, પણ અત્યારે environment બદલાઈ રહ્યું છે, you know. If you say even that I am an entrepreneur or I am a startup, I think family, society and overall environment is accepting you all with the open arms. And the best part is, even after unsuccessful entrepreneurship, you wanted to go back to the industry, then industry is welcoming you with the open arms. The reason is you are the best eligible candidate because they are very much convinced that this person is having an enterprising spirit. You know, this person is at least have the guts and a courage to do something of his or her own. So now things are changing. Even शादी के लिए भी लड़कियों को बड़ा ट्रेंडी लगता है. If you know, oh मैंने लड़का देखा is doing startup, और मैंने लड़की देखी, oh she's an entrepreneur. So now things are changing. So convince your parents to give you some time, and now you will get a time, but later on once वो बोलते हैं ना माया जाल में आप फंस जाओगे ना, उसके बाद it's very difficult. So yeah, right. That's what. Yeah, anything. But करो, मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि एक अफसोस नहीं रहना चाहिए मरने से पहले कि मैंने कुछ ट्राई नहीं मारा, मैंने कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं किया. सो एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इज लाइक नशा है, वो जिसने किया है ना उसको ही पता चलता है. सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट अ ब्यूटीफुल फीलिंग. सी मनी, फेम, all that comes later stage. It's all about being an independent by your own, trying to experiment on your own self. See, it was very scary at the same time. आज मतलब 1.5-2 साल के बाद अपनी stories share करना वो बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. But initial stage when I've left the institute, और मेरा जब notice period का last day था और मेरी बेटी ने मुझे suddenly पूछा दूसरे दिन, मम्मा तू क्या जयेश? So that was something which is shocking, and you feel suddenly alone because there were lots of designations were behind your name, and now suddenly you are only Kruti Patel. So you have to prove yourself in the market. You have to work very hard for that. You won't believe, for so many months I have taken my tiffin in my car. There was no office, but still I wanted to explore that. What should I do? How should I do? Meeting people, exploring markets. So it's a lot of hard work is there, but at the end you enjoy the process. And when today you share a story, then you feel like अरे यार ऐसा भी मैंने किया था. But that moment was something where every day your confidence is getting challenged. Every day people are my Kambali used to tell me, આ अच्छी ખાસી નોકરી કરતા હતા, આ બધું કરવાની શું જરૂર હતી? And that was something which is scary, you know. You feel like, have you taken a right decision? These are very, at this time it seems like funny, but at that time it was shocking for me. So I said, have I taken a right decision? मैंने जॉब छोड़ के कोई गलती तो नहीं की ना? Am I be successful as an entrepreneur? मुझे लोग accept करेंगे, पैसे देंगे? सबसे पहला, the first thing is, am I going to earn money out of this? So these are the frustration comes, but then later stage you keep going, you know, रुकना नहीं है. That's what happened at the time of lockdown as well. मतलब 8-9 महीना इतना काम किया मैंने. Every day I used to travel more than 100 kilometers, used to conduct sessions across universities, trying to develop Kruti as a brand, learning new things, doing lots of experiment every day. And जब वो बोलते हैं ना कि आंबा वाया ने હવે કેરીઓ ખાવાનો ટાઈમ આવ્યો, and that time lockdown has announced. So इससे ज़्यादा frustrating क्या हो सकता है, you know? There were lots of projects of MSME which were there already as approvals in my accounts, and I'm not able to do anything. So, but then what? You have to again keep moving, keep going and experimenting the things. And yeah, that's how the beauty of entrepreneurship is. So you should try once, you know. And if you are doing something concrete, if you're doing something which is really creating a value, money will definitely follow you. And you are getting a wonderful opportunity being a PDPU, being a part of, PDPU incubation and innovation cell. Why don't you experiment with the innovative product right from today itself? Why you wanted to go for a traditional business? Because at the end, nation is having lots of expectations from youngsters like you, right? So you are going to give them better products, better services, good innovations. And now I think it's a compulsion for India also to be innovative, right? So go for something innovative, something interesting. I think Rashti and her team is with you people. So yeah, that's what I have something to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ganesh here. So my question is that, ma'am, before question, for a few days back, my team just participated in some of the Techstar event, something like startup event. So we came up with this something idea. That idea was already there in the market. Then we tried to innovate that idea, brought something new into that idea. Then again, that idea again was there in the market. So my question is, can we train human mind to think innovative and creatively? Like, because every time you think something, there is something new or something there is in the competition in the market. So how do you come up with a new idea? Like,
as I said, जो movie stars होते हैं और जो directors होते हैं, जो producers होते हैं, उनके लिए ऐसा माना जाता है Friday to Friday, you know, and now तो hour to hour. So market is so quick, so fast. So when I talk about myself only, yesterday if I've taken some interesting topic on the same topic, अगर interesting session मैंने लिया तो वो तो Facebook live था. तो आज मैं same topic पे same content I am not going to speak out, else I will be outdated from the market. So it's a continuous process to think something new every day, and there is no formula for that. You need to develop your mind in such a way. So see, you are into the environment where competition is like a ghost is behind you. You know, so you have to be there in a competitive market. So think something new. Identify some situations. जैसे मुझे सबसे बेहतरीन आइडिया कब आते हैं पता है कि जब मैं किचन में खाना बनाती हूँ मॉर्निंग में. So the best time is to get the best idea there. So identify that when you are getting best ideas, what are the situations? Try to analyze yourself. Sometimes क्या होता है, when you know yourself more, when you know your flow better, when you understand yourself better, automatically things start working in a positive direction for you. So that's how, and it's a continuous process. There is no formula. Just you need to tell your mind that think something new. And yeah, observation is something which is going to help you a lot. Read, what is happening around. Observe what is happening around you. So this all techniques can help you to coming up with, So there was one university agriculture university where they called me up for taking a session. Now, agri is something which is altogether a new area for me. So you won't believe, for more than 10 hours I've read to deliver only 1 hour session. And after that, faculty told me that, frankly speaking, being a faculty of this, even we were not aware about all this. So that's where the continuous innovation comes, every day challenging yourself. And observation, as I said, observe karo, try to get insight, try to read as much you can. Logo se baat karo, logo se milo. That's going to give you lots of insight. So it's all about insight. मैंने बोला ना, सिर्फ fund से कुछ नहीं होगा. It's all about the rigor of implementing those processes. Another is the kind of talent, the team, the think tank which you are having it, and the customer insight. So कुछ ना कुछ तो insight आपके process में भी निकल के तो आएगा, right? और यहाँ पे बहुत सारे ऐसे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं जहाँ पे छोटे छोटे इनोवेशंस में से बहुत बढ़िया चीजें निकल के आती हैं. इट्स अ कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस. आज आपने बना दिया तो ये मत सोचो कि हाँ मतलब मैं सक्सेसफुल हो गया. कल एक और नए इनोवेशन के साथ आपको रेडी रहना ही पड़ेगा. So that's
Okay,
what my take. Hope I've answered your question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, everybody. Ma'am, we are running a little short of time. So, yeah.
Sure. No worries.
If you have any other question, maybe you can send us the questions and we'll try and get back to you with the answers from ma'am. And thank you so much, Kruti ma'am, for your time and a wonderful session and giving many insights to our participants. And thank you, SPM and Kaushal Kishore sir, for your support, to plan this wonderful event. And it was great having you once again at PDPU. Thank you, Kruti ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. It's always pleasure to interact with MBA. At the end, I am also a management student. So MBA is a life skill, So it's always pleasure to interact with MBAs. Yeah, thank you so much. Best wishes. Best of luck.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, SPM.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kaushal sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.